Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we'll be reacting to yet another slapped ham video. Its title is Mysterious Things Caught on Camera No One Can Rationally Explain. So let's dive on in, shall we?
Beginning in early March 2025, the user uploaded their first video after noticing something deeply peculiar about a painting they had created themselves during the pandemic. They quickly grabbed their phone to capture what was happening, and what appeared on camera defies explanation.
¿Ya viste? Ay, no mames, güey. Sí.
In the unsettling clip, viewers were astonished to see what clearly resembles movement inside the painting itself, almost like a cloud gently shifting within the artwork.
Se mueve en el cuadro. Fíjate bien, quédatele viendo. ¿Ya viste? Ay, no mames, güey. Sí.
The strange footage quickly went viral, amassing over 3.4 million views and generating tens of thousands of comments from viewers desperately attempting to explain the phenomenon. In response to skeptical comments suggesting that reflective glossy paint might explain the strange movement, the uploader created a follow-up video.
Es pintura mate. No se refleja.
Here, they clarified that the painting used entirely matte paint, significantly reducing reflectivity.
Es pintura mate. No se refleja. Ay, güey, no mames.
In a third video, the movement seems to appear once more, albeit subtly. The comment section soon erupted with theories. Some viewers speculated that the painting could have absorbed emotional energy due to being created during the emotionally charged period of the pandemic. One particularly striking theory emerged from a commenter claiming to be clairvoyant, suggesting the painting shows a trapped woman who was cursed by her husband's lover. As intriguing and unsettling as these theories are, no one has yet provided a convincing explanation for the mysterious movement inside this painting, leaving the TikTok community perplexed and fascinated.
Se mueve en el cuadro. Fíjate bien, quédatele viendo. ¿Ya viste? Ay, no mames.
Now this one here is pretty intriguing to me. I've been around quite a few paintings in my life, and I know that if you use glossy paint and everything, that it can reflect when somebody moves by and things like that. But I've never seen in matte painting or even a glossy finish, any of that. I have never seen something like that. It looked like a cloud. The cloud was puffing smoke out, and you could see it looked like it came from within the painting. It wasn't like somebody was smoking anything nearby, and it just went across and skirted across the painting. This was a bit strange. I've never seen anything like this at all. I mean, there was a lot of people in the comments before suggesting that they use glossy paint and that somebody was walking across and things like that, but I've seen what they're talking about, but that just didn't look right to me. And when people talked about the pandemic and maybe an energy is put into it from the pandemic and everything, it was, I wouldn't say from the pandemic, more so from whoever painted it. People put their energy into everything, their whole surroundings. Yet the energy you portray can go and make somebody's day brighter, or it can really just turn their bright mood around and just go right down the drain, if you know what I mean. Everything that you do creates an energy, a wave, an emotion within other people that you go around. Even animals you go around, they can catch the mood, your energy that you're going through. Maybe at the time the person's energy was a bit off and they poured whatever energy they were feeling into the painting and give it a bit of life. I mean, going from a scientific standpoint, though a lot of them discount and discredit the paranormal community. You can still use science to prove a lot of the paranormal. Energy does not dissipate. It continues. It's a continuous thing that can happen. Any energy goes and it just bounces around. It doesn't die. Electricity, energy, none of it dies. It keeps repeating and just continuing on and on forever. So there could be some possibility of this energy that the person created could go into the painting and create something like this. I've never seen it personally, but at the end of the day, you never know. Let me know what y'all think about it.
In early June, Facebook user Kaya Long uploaded a truly unsettling piece of home security footage. Captured clearly by the home's CCTV camera, a small Ninja Turtles toy can be seen inexplicably sliding across the floor entirely by itself without any visible external force. Many viewers insist the toy definitely moved by itself with no visible string or device causing it. Others pointed out that the toy has no electronic components, eliminating another possible explanation. To date, the strange movement remains unexplained, leaving both the uploader and online commenters convinced they might have witnessed genuine paranormal activity caught on camera.
Now, I've seen some paranormal things in my life and things that I just couldn't rationally explain. But I ain't never seen a Ninja Turtle go flying across a floor on its own. And what strikes me as odd, though, is that the child didn't even seem concerned about it, you know? They just sitting there sucking the thumb, walking over to the bed. It moves, they just look and glance at it. But that's it. If I was that young and I saw something like that, I think I would have freaked out a little bit more, especially if it was the first time I done seen it. So I can't rightly say that this might be faked, just simply because I didn't see wires. I didn't see a propulsion mechanism for the toy. I mean, I remember when I was younger that there was a Ninja Turtle that could swim. You wind him up, put him in the bathtub, and he would swim. But that didn't look like the type that I remember, and its arms didn't move. It looked like somebody just kind of shoved it across the floor. But the thing that's getting to me and makes me think that there has to be some sort of way that this was just manipulated, just simply because of the reaction of the child. And now, if it wasn't a manipulation, then this child has seen this happen several times and it just doesn't faze them anymore. I mean, let me know what y'all think about it. Is it being manipulated, or did this child see this happening all the time and just thinks it's something normal?
Abandoned prison.
In late February this year, TikTok user MJ Beckers, known to his followers as Michael JB, shared a chilling piece of footage captured while exploring an abandoned building in Nashville.
And you're not sure if it's real.
As Michael cautiously navigates the dark, crumbling corridors of the derelict structure, his camera unexpectedly captures something terrifying.
And you're not sure if it's real. Oh my God.
Reviewing the footage slowly and enhancing the brightness reveals an enormous dark figure standing ominously in one of the rooms. Clearly frightened, Michael quickly flees from the scene. Reactions online were deeply divided. Many viewers insist this figure could be some form of demonic or shadow entity haunting the abandoned location. On the other hand, some commenters provided a more grounded explanation, suggesting the figure might actually have been a bear, perhaps trapped inside the building. They expressed concern for Michael's safety, highlighting that encountering a panicked wild animal could have put him in serious danger. As of now, no definitive explanation has emerged, leaving viewers divided and intrigued by this unsettling encounter.
Now, this one's kind of an interesting one to go into, because when I went and took a look at things, because this is a major city in Tennessee, this is Nashville, right? So I did actually do some research on this when I was looking at it, and I wanted to just check just to see if there was any bears that have ever been seen inside Nashville. And yes, there actually was, back in 2023, a transient black bear who got kicked out of the den because he was a young adult. He was a young male, and the mother always pushes the young males out into the den so they can create their own life, family, whatever you want to call it, for a wild animal, such as a bear. And so he was spotted in a Nashville neighborhood back in 2023. So it could possibly be a bear in that building. It's an abandoned building. Ain't nobody really going around in there. And only thing that kind of gets me a little pause, but I didn't really... The eye shine is so quick when it moves away and everything that I couldn't really tell the color of it. It looked like just two white spots, because if I could get more time and seeing that eye shine a little bit more, a bear's eye shine is a yellowish, reddish color. So it could very well possibly have been a bear inside that building. I don't think it was anything demonic. There's a lot of areas. There's the Great Smoky Mountains and the Cherokee National Forest that is close to this, in Tennessee and around those areas. And I can tell you, outside of Nashville, there's a lot of mountains going through there. Trying to get through one time, and I was in the mountains for over 30 miles, and people were trying to get a hold of me on my phone, and there's not a bit of service whatsoever. But there's a lot of wild animals. So being that close to forests, and especially national forests, you can have animals that will go through and find a way. Humans find a way to live in the wild. Wild animals can find a way to live in a city. It happens. So I think this one could have probably been the local wildlife.
This next chilling photograph has circulated the internet for decades and is considered by many paranormal enthusiasts to be one of the greatest ghost photos ever captured. Known widely as the Phantom Vicar of Eastry Church, the photo was taken by a man named Mr. Bootman in Eastry, Kent, England, back in 1956. Although specific details are sparse, the unsettling image clearly depicts a transparent, ghostly figure resembling a vicar, seated quietly on a pew in the foreground of the church. According to Mr. Bootman, at the exact moment the photo was snapped, only he, his wife and a cleaning lady were present inside the church, making the mysterious figure's appearance even more inexplicable. Over the decades, the authenticity of the photograph has been repeatedly analysed by experts. Some have suggested the eerie figure might be the result of a double exposure, but careful scrutiny has shown no concrete evidence supporting this theory. The photo doesn't appear manipulated or superimposed, a claim bolstered by the difficulty of such techniques in the mid-1950s. When closely examined, the ghostly figure distinctly wears what appears to be a priest's collar, further intensifying the mystery surrounding this extraordinary capture. To this day, the Phantom Vicar of Eastry Church remains one of the most compelling and hotly debated pieces of photographic evidence of paranormal phenomena. Is this genuine proof of a ghostly apparition, or could there be another explanation yet undiscovered? Let us know your thoughts.
Now, this one here, I've actually seen a larger version of this photo in a book that I read. And I know it went through tons and tons of scrutiny by professional photographers and people who actually make it their living to see if something's been faked. And considering that this was in the 50s, the technology we had wouldn't have been quite there to make a really good fake, a really good replica. You know what I mean? I mean, back then there wasn't no AI like there is today, where it makes it a little tougher to tell what's fake and what's real. But I've seen this, and I looked at it personally in the book. I stared at it a lot, and it's just the way the picture is, and it's not, there's nobody else in there. You can't really say that this is a possibility of a double exposure. Maybe, but a lot of those people who looked into this picture back in the 50s and also in the 60s, this picture has been heavily looked into, and everybody is at a loss. If a professional photographer or a professional whose job it is to look for fakes, look for something that's been doctored or, just re-imaged and everything, they would have spotted it. But this one here is considered the most, to date, legitimate full-bodied apparition picture. I mean, I can't really say full-bodied because you only see in the top half of the apparition within it, but this is what they considered a full-bodied apparition because you can actually see features, details that you don't normally see in a lot of pictures that people get when it comes to the paranormal. Mostly you get orbs or you get a strange shadow effect. This here is actually detailed. It's something that I know, like a lot of people nowadays, if it was done nowadays, most people would probably say it's a fake. But since you take into account that this was in the 50s and there wasn't a lot of photoshopping you could do back then. So this one I can definitely say that I've had prior knowledge to it, and I know personally I've seen the copies of it, and I could not figure a way that this person could have faked it. I mean, if y'all can find a way to disprove what professionals have considered authentic, then be my guest. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think and how y'all think that maybe he might have sat there and forged this. Other than that, I know from what I've seen personally with it, instead of being on a computer with it and in a video and seen it in a copy of it personally, this is one of the real deals that I've seen so far on the internet.
A peculiar burglary took place recently in Sunbury, Victoria, capturing attention for an unexpected reason. On April 23rd, around 1:10 a.m, CCTV cameras recorded a silver Holden Commodore entering a school's parking lot. As the suspect exited the vehicle, he surprised viewers by breaking into a jaunty dance routine, seemingly oblivious to the cameras capturing every move. After his brief performance, the dancing burglar proceeded to break into the school, stealing 3 laptops and a projector valued at over $5,000. Police described the suspect as a Caucasian male, likely in his 30s, with a medium build and long dark brown hair. At the time of the incident, he wore a distinctive red and black hooded jumper, black running shoes, a red headband and blue gloves. Police have since released footage of the incident, hoping someone recognises the toe-tapping culprit. If anyone has any information regarding this unusual crime, they're urged to contact Crime Stoppers Australia on 1-800-333-000.
Now, this one, I don't understand why it would be actually considered mysterious. Maybe strange would be the term I would personally use, not necessarily mysterious. Honestly, looks like this person possibly could clearly be on something. I mean, my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact now, but my personal opinion. This person looks like they might be on something and decided they'd do a little victory dance before going and robbing the school. I'm not sure, but I mean, this is kind of strange more than mysterious, if you ask me. It's just, why? And this person still ain't caught, unless they've recently caught him. He still ain't been caught yet, so this is pretty strange in itself, but hopefully they will catch this person and give him the justice he so rightly deserves for robbing a poor school.
Which comes with unknown origins, but captures something genuinely unsettling. In the brief yet eerie clip, a shadowy figure slowly emerges from just beyond the homeowner's mailbox, lingering ominously in view. Initially, many viewers dismissed it as merely a mischievous teenager playing a prank, or perhaps a burglar discreetly scoping out the property. However, a closer look reveals something deeply unsettling. At first, the figure appears as a vague, shadow-like form, but then, inexplicably, a face emerges clearly from within the darkness. This unnerving detail has sparked intense speculation online, with numerous commenters convinced that this is no ordinary intruder, but possibly a shadow figure or even a ghost caught on camera. Due to the lack of information and the original uploader's identity being unknown, the footage remains shrouded in mystery.
Now, I hope y'all finished laughing about this one. I don't understand why this one's on the list either. It says freaky home security footage, as y'all saw on this. But you can tell this was something that the person was doing just to create, I guess, something that was fun or something to try to be scary. Then they load it up onto either YouTube or TikTok to just make a good little scare. I mean, the way the person came out from behind the garbage can, you could tell they had a mask on when they turned around and looked. I mean, I don't see why they say that a face suddenly appeared. You could obviously tell the person was having a side profile, possibly had like a hoodie or something on that covered up any hair or any defining features. And then when they turned to face the camera, they sat there and had a white mask on, so you couldn't see the face. So it made it look otherworldly or eerie, you know, to just get a rise out of people and make them speculate more. And then the run that was whispered out, you could obviously tell if they whispered it the way they did, it would not have reached a person's ears. I know personally, I wouldn't have been able to hear it, but then again, I do have a bit of a hearing problem every now and again where I have to have people repeat something. But that right there, if it was real, you wouldn't have been able to hear it. It sounded like it was whispered up close to the video, like to the camera, to the camera person. I mean, to hear something go, Rod, like that, you know, that's too close. I mean, I had to get up to the microphone to be able to get that to run the way I did it, and for it to be able to be whispered and be loud. So, I mean, this right here shouldn't have even made it on this list either. Just like the one prior with the dancing robber in Australia. This one shouldn't have been on the list either. This is something that, in my personal opinion, is fake. Completely, 100%, totally just made to go viral, probably, more than likely.
Any kind of animal activity on here, especially.
Popular YouTube creator Project Darkwood, known for exploring paranormal and cryptid phenomena, has recently sparked significant interest and debate with an eerie piece of footage. Uploaded with the caption, "On a recent overnight expedition, I captured possible footage of something that most people agree doesn't exist." This video documents what appears to be a chilling encounter with the legendary creature known as Bigfoot.
I might have caught a Bigfoot on camera. Maybe. It's a big maybe. It's probably better if I just show you the footage that I recorded that night.
The footage, recorded by the creator Dawn, begins innocently enough, detailing how an email from a property owner led to an overnight investigation in an isolated area.
But basically what has happened is this guy contacted me through my email and said that he has a big piece of land that allegedly he has had multiple encounters with a semi-aggressive Bigfoot on.
According to the landowner, this property had previously been the site of multiple unsettling encounters with a semi-aggressive Bigfoot. Equipped with a DSLR camera and headlamp, Dawn set out after dark to document any unusual activity.
Seems like there's a little less animal activity over this way, quieter, which seems promising.
After several uneventful hours, things took a dramatic turn.
Something walking. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
In the southwestern corner of the property, an enormous dark figure with glowing eyes suddenly emerged from the shadows, causing Dawn to panic and flee in terror.
Oh, okay, all right.
The encounter quickly went viral, with many viewers debating whether this was authentic evidence of a Bigfoot sighting or merely a cleverly staged hoax. Responding to the viral intrigue, Dawn released a follow-up video titled "Charging Bigfoot Caught on Camera Footage Analysis," dissecting the incident in meticulous detail. Enhanced, stabilized, and brightened, the analysis highlights several fascinating points.
This frame, you get a really good shot of his abs, and there is, definitive musculature. You can really make out some of the detail here. And then in the further frames, like you can make out pecs, bicep. There's this kind of shape here. There's like a sternum, and then this kind of pectoral muscle.
They go on with more analysis.
Another thing that I discovered in going over this footage is the limb proportions. If you don't know a whole lot about Bigfoot, they have very different limb proportions than humans do. They're very lanky. They have long arms, short legs. So I put together a little comparison here with a human being. And you can see, it's just completely different. Like, I don't think a person could fit in this.
Despite Dawn's in-depth analysis, opinions remain divided. Skeptics argue this could be an elaborate hoax or a case of misidentification involving wildlife or even a person in disguise. However, Dawn firmly maintains the authenticity of their experience, emphasizing the sheer complexity of the figure's appearance and movements. Could this footage finally provide credible evidence of Bigfoot's existence, or is it just an elaborate prank?
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but this one here, this is definitely fake. for one, I ain't never heard of a Bigfoot needing a flashlight to go and be in the woods. Come on. They got, pretty sure, since they are considered nocturnal animals, from what a lot of people have done said when they've seen these creatures out in, say, Washington, Northern California, even in places like the Appalachian Trail. They're mostly nocturnal creatures. And I ain't never heard of them using a Rayovac flashlight. No, have y'all? So this one to me is definitely fake. A lot of people were commenting on the fact that its fur looked luxurious and didn't look dusty or dirty or anything like that. But if any of y'all had ever seen gorillas in a habitat with the zoos and everything, they are very social creatures and will groom themselves. There's a lot of speculation on what Bigfoot actually may be. It could be maybe one of the actual, like, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, some of our earlier humanoid ancestors. Or there's a theory that they are actually part of the evolutionary path from Gigantopithecus along the same lines as the orangutan. But clearly, these animals, these early humans before modern humans came into play on the earth, they use tools, but I seriously don't think that they'd be using a flashlight. And the grooming habits aside, that I'm not concerned about, because I've seen animals out in the wild and they don't look dusty, dirty, or anything like that. Maybe a pig, because they go and lay in the mud for a bit to cool off. But other than that, most animals do keep grooming habits. My concern, of course, I mentioned it like 20 times already, is the flashlight. Another concern to me is the simple fact that when being described in Bigfoot encounters, most people say that their eyes are a greenish yellow, not a red. I've never seen anything with red eyes. I've always heard a greenish yellow. And another thing to point out, them eyeballs looked more like red LED lights as opposed to actual eye shine. If any of y'all out there has ever been out in the woods at night and had a flashlight and shined it on a creature, or an animal I should say, and you saw the eye shine, it don't look like what this was portraying. So I feel like since this gentleman came over to this plot of land because the landowner told him he has a semi-aggressive Bigfoot on there. Now, I'm not saying that this gentleman had set up a ploy or anything like that. It could be very well that he just got the fright of his life. He seemed pretty, unless he's a good actor, he seemed pretty distraught over what he had done seen. So my take is that the landowner themselves, or maybe somebody they done hired or something, was the culprit in this video, as opposed to a real Bigfoot. And just the simple fact of the creator of the content, the main lead of this episode, I guess you could say, because he obviously has his own channel. He was very assured and trying to figure out that the musculature and just the height, weight proportion and everything was not something of a human. But we do have the technology nowadays to be able to easily set this up, and I'm more than certain a person who's technologically advanced could create an animatronic that could fool some people some of the time. But this right here, to me, it was fake. Completely and totally fake. Now, if y'all disagree with me, let me know down in the comments.
You, Rhonda?
A deeply troubling incident has emerged from Fort Pierce, Florida, involving a mother who claimed she took her young son's life due to spiritual intervention. On May 30th, authorities arrested 41-year-old Rhonda Paulinice on charges of second-degree murder after discovering the body of her 6-year-old son, Ramil Pierre, in their home. The investigation began when Ramil's school, Samuel S. Gaines Academy K-8, alerted authorities after he missed consecutive days beginning May 14th. Sheriff's deputies arrived at the family residence on May 30th to perform a welfare check, where they encountered Paulinice outside her home.
They haven't been to school in this whole month?
Oh, yeah, no. It's just that I haven't sent him to school yet.
Okay. So from what I'm being told, yes, they haven't been in school this whole month.
341, that's all
Since the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
The school is unaware of what's going on with him.
Oh, he's going to go back to school.
Paulinice admitted to investigators that she suffocated her son on May 18th, believing she needed to rid him of an enemy or spirit controlling him. She stated she was instructed by God or Father through dreams and visions. She told authorities that resisting these instructions would result in punishment, although she didn't elaborate further. Following the act, Paulinice moved Ramil's body to another bed and covered him in his favourite blanket. Reports indicate she checked daily for signs of life, hoping he would revive. Recently released body cam footage from responding deputies shows Paulinice calmly interacting with law enforcement outside her home.
And is your kid here right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is your kid here right now?
Is my son here?
Yeah, is he here?
Yes.
Is there any way I could at least see him just to make sure that he's okay?
Sure.
She initially insisted that her son would soon return to school and appeared unaware of the seriousness of his prolonged absence. Deputies found Ramil's body shortly after entering the residence. Preliminary autopsy findings reportedly align with Paulinice's account, though authorities emphasise that toxicology and other forensic tests are ongoing, and final results have yet to be determined. This deeply troubling case continues to unfold, raising questions about mental health and the tragic consequences of untreated psychological crises. Authorities urge anyone with further information to contact local law enforcement.
This one here to me is just sad. It's just beyond sad. I don't see anything mysterious about this at all, and I just wish that it wasn't put into this video that I was reacting to. When I first saw this, it's just, I almost teared up. Just the fact of a poor child having to go through and have something like this happen to by somebody who was their guardian. It amazes me that people would still do something like this in 2025. I don't understand it, and it's sad to me. We'll just go on to the other one. This was too sad.
Well, can I tell you a crazy wrestling story?
Yeah, of course.
In a recent podcast appearance, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan revealed a deeply startling story involving fellow wrestling icon Roddy Piper. Hogan and Piper, known for their fierce rivalry in the wrestling ring, eventually reconciled and began exchanging frequent messages later in life, often discussing personal spirituality.
Well, once we got older and, we basically had some conversations. And so we started talking a lot, and he started asking me about my spirituality. He really didn't connect, but he was very curious,
According to Hogan, shortly after Piper passed away, something inexplicable occurred. Hogan described receiving a voicemail message from Piper 2 days after his death. Here's the voicemail. In the voicemail, Piper clearly states, I'm just loving you, my brother. I'm just walking with Jesus and loving you, my brother. The message left Hogan astonished, particularly because it seemed unlike anything Piper would have expressed while alive. Hogan further emphasized that Piper had been struggling spiritually and had not fully committed to his faith, making the voicemail even more surprising and impactful. The recording, widely circulated online, does indeed appear to be Piper's voice, lending credibility to Hogan's claim. However, whether this voicemail was somehow recorded before Piper's death or truly came from beyond the grave remains highly debated and unresolved. What do you think? Did Hulk Hogan really receive a message from beyond, or is there another explanation at play? Let us know your thoughts below.
Now, this is one that I'd actually believe. Not because of the person who's saying it. I mean, I don't know Hulk Hogan personally. I don't know too much. I never watched his reality TV show or anything like that. But there have been plenty of instances I've heard of where a person passes away and say like the family doesn't know, but they receive a phone call or a voicemail from the person telling them they love them, and just a few other things they say too. But this is a occurrence that I've heard of, not just a handful of times. I've heard it plenty of times about people receiving phone calls from their friends, and then they find out that there's no way they could have called because they were in a car accident and had passed away 2 hours before they ever received the phone call. Now, I talked about energy before, how energy doesn't just die out. It doesn't dissipate. It transfers. So it could be a possibility of a person wanting to reach out one last time before their energy moves on to something else, to let the person know, hey, I'm okay. I love you. I'll miss you. Just a lot of stuff, like take care of my goldfish, what have you. But they have some sort of, I guess you could call it unfinished business. You know how a lot of people talk about ghosts having unfinished business. Something happened that they needed to get and continue before they could move on. I feel it's almost something similar to that in this sense, I mean, let me know what y'all think. I mean, he seemed real sincere and actually really seemed upset when he was thinking on about this in this interview. So let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. And so that's the end of this one. Let me know what y'all think about it. Maybe I should do a little bit more of these. Maybe try another channel so we can react to some of the stuff from there. All paranormal. I want to do paranormal and cryptids to make sure we can get some of that. Maybe do some reaction to maybe some music. I'm still trying to figure out some different ways and different things to do on here. So just let me know in the comments below what y'all wouldn't mind seeing me to react to or me to go into. There's a couple of things I'm wanting to go into. Some theories of mine based on like cryptids and also the paranormal. And we can go from there and we can have fun with it. Now, like and subscribe, y'all, and I'll see y'all later.